Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time, we went around the Unova region capturing 3 legendary Pokemon. The first of many, I am sure. And this time, it is episode 96, which is really interesting for me because this marks the story portion of this Let's Play being longer than that of Liquid Crystal, because Liquid Crystal had its story portion wrap up at episode 95. And it's kind of awkward for me because way back when that happened, when that Let's Play happened, I was like, there is no way that we are going to do another project this long so soon. And yet here we are, doing a project that is looking to certainly be longer than that one at this point. It's kind of freaky for me, but honestly, I think I can probably guarantee with about 99% certainty that the next project on this channel will not be Pokemon, because we've been doing a lot of Pokemon on this channel, and I don't want to say I'm getting burned out on it, because I'm not, but there are other games I like to play, so that'll be interesting when we get to the end of Blaze Black 2, which isn't soon, necessarily, but it's coming, and we're gonna have to keep it in mind. Anyway, we are proceeding down here to Route 21 here after Hugh, because this is where he came in search of Team Plasma, and considering they weren't on Route 22, this is probably where we're gonna be finding them. Now, physically, this route is actually pretty short, but it's got 6 trainers on it, so I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take us to get through this route, but I think we're going to be dedicating the entire episode to this route just because there's quite a few trainers around here. Plus it sort of branches a little bit, and it also has wild Pokemon. Is it anything new? I wasn't expecting it to be. Ah well. Well, we finally get a chance to Thunderbolt a Wingull, which I feel like is that stereotypical /dead thing that you would have come to mind if you were playing Pokemon. Alrighty, it would have been great if someone got a level off that or something. Anyway, right around here we have another trainer. I trained with Marlin, the gym leader of Humalao City. This is probably where he's like, do you know him? Yes, I do know him. I have defeated him. I have his badge. Aha, we have Prinplup coming out right here. Okay. One thing I am not looking forward to near the end of this LP is getting a hold of all of the older generation starter Pokemon, because these are all the ones that we do not have yet. That is, they are all Hidden Grotto exclusive. And I am not looking forward to trying to generate Hidden Grottos repeatedly. I know there is an action replay code that allows you to regenerate Hidden Grottos, but honestly, I really don't like using those codes, even though we are already playing a hack anyway. I don't know, it would feel like cheating to me, I guess. And I haven't used any sort of code yet. The only situation I'd ever probably use a code in a Let's Play is if there is some sort of game-breaking glitch that prevents progression in some way. Then I'd probably bend the rules and do it. But other than that, I really like to play the game legit, I guess. And I know it is a hack, so the legit argument only goes so far, but that's just how I feel about it. Let's see, right around here, there is a black belt, which is interesting. Hiya, hiya! I'm practicing my punching technique in front of the sea. Give it a try. Alright. Now, it's kind of freaky being on episode 96, to be honest, because I'm realizing we've been at this game for almost 8 months, I think? Yeah, I think episode 104 will be the 8-month mark, I want to say, which is kind of crazy. That's one thing I am pretty happy about. We are making our way through Blaze Black 2 quicker than Liquid Crystal, because for a large portion of Liquid Crystal, we were only doing 2 videos a week. So that entire Let's Play wound up being about 11 months in length, and even though I'm pretty sure Blaze Black 2 is going to be longer, I think it's going to take us less time to get through the entire project, which I'm personally pretty proud of. I've released 3 episodes of this a week, perfectly consistently, since the start of the LP, and I know finals week last semester I released episodes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but that's still 3 a week, so I think it counts. Alright, I think Gastrodon might get a level up here if this guy has another Pokemon. He does. It's a Machamp, though. I'll probably switch out for this one, actually. You gotta play these type advantages properly, otherwise you're not gonna get very far. I'm really hoping by the time we get to the final area of the game, everyone on our party will be around level 70, because I don't want to do too much grinding, and I'm pretty sure the final boss Pokemon in this hack is around level 75, and I really don't want to have to do too much grinding, because grinding is not fun. Anyone who's played an RPG will know that grinding is not fun. I spent 5 hours grinding in Earthbound Beginnings just to take on the freaking zoo, and that's like the first dungeon in the game. So yeah, anyone who's played an RPG knows the hell of grinding, which is why I really, honestly, legitimately like 3 in a row. Are you kidding? I honestly legitimately like the changes that were made to, finally it failed, the experience share in X and Y. A lot of people don't like that it makes the game so easy, but honestly, if you didn't have the experience share, you'd spend a lot of time just grinding. And I don't find grinding to be indicative of the difficulty of an RPG. I find grinding to be indicative of the tedium of an RPG, because grinding is not at all difficult. It just takes a lot of time. Although I suppose you could say that about a lot of RPGs, but I feel like this is a situation, like especially Pokemon. Pokemon is not a hard game. So if you have to spend a whole lot of time grinding, it really just makes the game longer and not more difficult. That's my thoughts on the matter anyway, so I'm really hoping that the level curve will bring us right around the 70 mark by the time we hit the end, just so that we don't have to do a lot of grinding. And of course, after I spend a dedicated episode trying to find Pokemon, including Pelipper, I just run into one randomly. I guess that's the way, isn't it? I'm not sure if there are actually any new Pokemon on this route. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know if there's anything new here anyway. Okay, so we fought 3 trainers so far, and I know for a fact that there are 6 on this route and 2 items to find, so hopefully we can optimize this process a little bit. Alright, I believe this is trainer number 4. Wow, she's got 5 Pokemon. Oh god, don't tell me they're all Love Disc. I'll be honest, way back when they first revealed Alomomola, I was a firm believer of that thing evolving from Love Disc. I mean, just look at that. It looks like an evolution to Love Disc, so it's completely bizarre how they're not related, because they look related. I don't know. It seems weird. It looks like Game Freak is sort of moving away from cross-generational evolutions, because we are in the year 2016, which means, presuming Sun and Moon release after September 26th of this year, Sylveon will be the only cross-generational evolution introduced in the past decade. Which is really freaky, to be honest. I kinda miss cross-generational evolutions, but honestly, all the ones in Diamond and Pearl had those really tedious evolution methods. So I guess if that's what they're gonna go with, if they're gonna introduce such things, maybe it's best we don't have them. Like, evolving Sylveon in the newest game is just so tedious, because I don't like playing Pokemon and me, like, at all. And yet, I have to do it to evolve Sylveon. In fact, I'm completing a living Pokedex in Generation 6 right now, and just a few weeks ago came the time for me to get a hold of Sylveon. So I go into Pokemon and me, And mind you, this is over a year and a couple months after Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out. And it gives me the tutorial on how to play Pokemon and Me because I legitimately had not touched it prior to that point. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a neat little feature. I don't know if they're going to keep it in Sun and Moon, or if they're going to introduce some alternative way to get a hold of Sylveon, but honestly, I don't like playing it all that much. Alrighty, we are actually fighting a Milotic right now, which is kind of crazy. There are some legitimately powerful Pokemon we're seeing out in the wild here, which is pretty cool because it's very indicative of the fact that we are very close to the end of the game. In fact, I think if I'm projecting it right, we've probably got 20 or less episodes until we see the credits, which is pretty awesome. And of course that's including some more mass catching session episodes, but hopefully those will be some of the last. I'm hoping to have over 500 Pokemon by the time we get the credits for the first time. I don't know how feasible that is, but I'd really like to have that happen because I'm realizing that 649 Pokemon is a freaking lot. Like, we have 414 right now, if the number written down on my index card is right, which I'm pretty sure it is. And that's less than 2/3. And we're almost 100 episodes into this thing. I hope this thing doesn't go over to 150 episodes. But I mean, you never know. It darned well might. I just really hope it doesn't, because I feel like right around 120-ish is maybe, like, right around the point when you start having to consider maybe this project's getting a little bit long. But I mean, I would like to show everything, at least in some capacity, so we're probably going to be going an extra, probably 24 episodes beyond seeing the credits just to show everything, because Black and White 2 have the biggest post-game out of any Pokemon game, and I'm pretty sure that is not a debatable fact. In fact, there is so much extra stuff that you can do after you beat the game. I think it rivals Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and that game had a whole other region to run around in. Because there are a lot of areas of the Unova region that you can only access during the post-game, and there's lots of distractions in every single one of those areas, so I feel like the post-game for Black and White 2 probably has the unrivaled most amount of content out of them all. Alrighty, so now we've got a Floatzel coming out. I'm really liking that Magnezone's getting a lot of use in some of these areas, because I felt like Magnezone really had very little use when we were fighting the Dragon types around Opelucid City. So seeing all of these water types really makes me happy, because Magnezone is getting lots of levels really quickly, and I feel like Magnezone's probably going to be a pretty valuable member of the team going into the final areas of the game, so I'm really glad to see it getting some use. In fact, 63 is our lowest level. I thought it was lower than that. That's pretty awesome. I'm hoping 70 will be in our grasp by the time we get to the end of the game, but we have a lot of NPC trainers to fight from here on out. I try and fight around 6 per video because I feel like that stretches it out to right around 25 minutes, and luckily this route has 6 trainers on it, so it fits pretty well. And the next area we're going to be going to is going to have 7 trainers, so I think it all works out. Alright, there should be one more trainer. Is it you? Oh, it's that guy, I bet. Oh no, it's this guy. No, this is number 5, right? Yeah, I think this is number 5. It takes a lot of strength to swim in the ocean. Are your Pokemon okay? Oh right, they've stuck a healing spot right here. I am very thankful for that. I'll be honest, I really like the doctors in Generation 5. They don't put them too often, so it doesn't feel cheap when you use them. It feels like they put them in very strategic spots so that they really just make your life easier without making the game easy, because like I said, it's the tedium versus difficulty thing. Like really, once I got through this route, what I would most likely do is fly back to Humalau City, heal, and then just walk back. So it doesn't make it difficult by not having the guy there. But by having the guy there, it just cuts down on this extra time that I would have originally spent just going to get healed. So I feel like it's a really good compromise in terms of game design there, and Mandibuzz gets level 65, that's pretty darned high. Let's switch Mandibuzz out to take on this Tropius. I'll be honest, I feel like Tropius is one of those Pokemon that deserves a cross-generational evolution because it doesn't evolve to or from anything. But I feel like they could have a lot of fun coming up with an evolutionary relative to this thing, or maybe even a Mega Evolution, you never know. I suppose the Mega Evolution thing could bring me to another thing I want to talk about. Man, I'm just talking about a lot of stuff this episode. But I guess it's just because I have a lot to say. And since we're not doing story, it's probably the best place to talk about it. There's like 50 Mega Stones in Generation 6 right now. It's kind of insane. Like, one major complaint I have with Generations 5 and 6 is in Generation 4, there were 8 pockets to your backpack, and they cut it down to 5 recently in the more recent games, but the amount of items just keeps growing. I think what they need to do is they need to make more pockets in the backpack to further subdivide what you have, because it's really quite frustrating searching through the huge list of general items, because there's items, and then there's medicine, and then I think berries, TM, HMs, and key items. And the regular items pocket is always so full of stuff. It's insane. Now, how do I get to that fisherman over there? I'm gonna have to experiment a bit. But yeah, I just don't get why on earth it is necessary to have all of this stuff just go into this one pocket. So I think what they need to do is they need to like start splitting off pockets, like have a specialized Pokeball pocket, for example, and of course start chopping out some of the useless items. Like for example, if anyone has noticed, and I have a feeling a lot of people didn't because no one uses this feature, Mail is not in Generation 6 at all. They completely took it out because no one used it. I feel like they should start cutting out a lot of redundant stuff. Like for example, there's 4 items where all they do, at least I think it's 4, it's 3 or 4, different items where all they do is they let you use it to escape a wild Pokemon battle. Like, we don't need 4 of those, we just need the 1. And I think they should probably put all the Mega Stones in like a case, like remember in, I think it was Fire Red and Leaf Green, where there was a berry pouch and a TM case? They need to do that with more stuff, like have a specific case for Mega Stones and other various types of items that you can get a hold of, because there is really no legitimate reason to need all that stuff in the one pocket. You get what I'm saying? Because, like, it's just frustrating having this huge, huge list of stuff. Like, if they could just drop it into categories somehow, it would make lives so much easier. Wait, did I fight all 6 guys? Man, my brain's just completely out to lunch. I've been through 8 weeks straight of university, and it's a little bit rough. And I could just walk through here. Are you kidding me? I am an idiot. Right here we have a PP up, which is nice. And I think we fight this guy. We do. Alrighty. But yeah, the backpack in Pokemon is just insane nowadays, so I think what they really, really have to do is split off more pockets and bring back the cases mechanic. And also, while they're at it, bring back free space, because free space was only in this game, where you could send an item to free space, so it could be like a shortcut, and that's not in there in X and Y, and I have no idea why they removed it. Because it's a really nice feature. I mean, I know I'm lauding the feature even though I haven't used it once during this LP, but I mean, why take it out? It's just a shortcut feature. It's just bizarre to me. I feel like X and Y in some ways were regressions from Black and White, but I feel like a major regression was the UI. I feel like Black and White 2 especially made a lot of progressions in terms of UI, and then X and Y just added in a whole bunch of little annoyances with it that weren't there before. And it makes the game just feel clunkier. That's probably one of the main reasons I'm glad Sun and Moon are Generation 7, because that's pretty much a license for them to go back and change a lot of this stuff. Because you know, if they had decided to do a Pokemon Z, we would have had to sit around with these same annoyances for a whole nother game, perhaps a whole nother year, or maybe 2. But with Sun and Moon being the next generation, I hold out hope that they are going to be making some big changes in terms of the UI, because I feel like that's one of the more archaic points of Pokemon nowadays, and it really, really needs to change. Alright, we have Golduck with Cloud 9 right here, which really doesn't affect us all that much because there's no weather in the first place. And this should bring it down. I mean, Stab Dragon Claw. Oh wow, it actually survived that. I'm impressed. And of course, our Dragon Claw is no longer Stab. I feel like Soak is an interesting move because it transforms the opponent into a water type. I feel like a Pokemon that knew Rain Dance, Soak, and Thunder could probably be really, really strategic if you could get that set on a good Pokemon, because all you have to do is use Soak and then blast it with a Thunder, and it's instantly super effective no matter what the opponent is. But anyway, now that I have talked, ranted, and all that sort of stuff on this relatively inconsequential route, you can see right here, we are now in the other side of Seaside Cave. This is that cave that we could only access 6 tiles of back from the Undella Bay area. So, as you might notice, this area is actually its own complete area. It's multiple floored, and it's a legit dungeon. So, I think without further ado, we are going to be ending things off here. So, this past episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we explored the entirety of Route 21. And as you might expect, next time, we are going to be going through the rest of Seaside Cave, hopefully capturing more Pokemon, and also hopefully finding traces of Team Plasma. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.